Hey guys, my name's Derek and this is Grain Free Homestead. So today we're going to be making a keto dish that Stephanie's going to be making. I'm going to be filming it for her, help her get through it. But I wanted to remind you guys that we are doing a giveaway. We're going to do a drawing on February 12th. We're giving away this, let's see here, this cool set here with measuring cups. It's really neat. If you want to get registered to win, all you have to do is go to the last video we made. It is kind of like our story video that we did, and you comment on that, and you'll get registered to get in the drawing for that. So on February 12th, so you want to get on there and go to that video. It's the last video we made. So go check that video out and comment on the bottom of it, and you'll get registered for it. And that way you get in a chance to win. All right, let's get started.
Okay guys, let's get into this recipe. Here I'm just browning some chicken breast with salt, pepper, and I did use a little bit of avocado oil. So I just kind of get that going. This recipe, I call it saucy chicken. I'll talk about it here in a minute. It's a wonderful recipe. The whole family loves it, and you can kind of tailor it to what your family likes and dislikes. I use the garlic and herb riced cauliflower here. I do use coconut aminos in it and a little bit of butter, and the family loves it. I'm using my home canned tomato sauce and 1 can of the fire roasted diced tomatoes. I chop up some carrots. I use whatever onion I have on hand, and I have some frozen green bell peppers.
So while I'm getting the carrots ready here, I'm just getting them chopped. It's really just a uniform size, whatever size you like. I've got some frozen peppers from the freezer from the garden. I have a red onion. I do have a frozen bag of broccoli here. And you can use whatever vegetables that you have. So in the summertime, like we would add yellow squash or zucchini to this. If you have mushrooms, our family, except for me, really doesn't like mushrooms. You can add whatever vegetable that you like to this dish. It may have a more proper name. I just kind of made it up because I like saucy things. I don't like plain chicken or plain meat. So I just called this saucy chicken. But just getting the carrots chopped up while the chicken is getting good. I like it to brown a little bit. And all I have is a little bit of avocado oil, and I'll season it with salt and pepper. And I'm just frying up this cauli-rice. You could go all out, and make it real fried rice, like put scrambled egg, put your oils in it and make it like a real fried rice. But we don't, because we're going to top it with all this saucy stuff anyway. So I've got my compost bucket here. I always peel my carrots into this, onion peels, whatever. It'll either go, it'll go in the compost. This is like the simplest meal ever. I literally just kind of made it up from stuff that I had in my cabinet. I've been making this about 10 years or so, I guess. And we used to do it with rice before we were grain free, but now we just use cauli-rice. So my chicken's almost done here, and what I do, I just get it slightly brown, and then I take it out. I just use a bowl or whatever I have, and I set it to the side. And then I'm going to get my carrots and my peppers sauteing in here and start getting them sauteed up. And then what I'll do is start to add all my spices and marinades and things that I like to use. And then when I get all that together, I'm going to add the chicken back in, add my tomatoes, and at the very end, I'll add my broccoli to get it good and steamed, but I don't want it soggy. I want a little bit of a crunch to it.
So here I'm adding the coconut aminos to the cauli-rice. You do not have to do that. You could just do butter or soy sauce. If you eat soy sauce, this is just our substitute that we use. And it's just a good way to season up the fried rice.
So I'm just adding the harder vegetables, the ones that take longer to brown up. I got my chopped carrots. We have some frozen bell peppers from the garden. We love freezing peppers because they cook up just like they're fresh. I mean, you cannot even tell the difference. Like we have a half a freezer full of peppers, don't we?
Yeah, we have a lot.
But we eat them. We go through them. So I'm getting the peppers and the onions in there. Just let that sit there and fry. I did add a little bit more avocado oil after I took the chicken out. So I'm just going to let this cook and brown almost on medium, a little bit below medium. Medium's fine too. Usually I would do it on medium, but because I'm talking, I don't want to burn something, you know, me forgetting about it. So while this is browning and this is browning, I'm going to get to chopping up my onion. I had 3 carrots out, but that's plenty of carrots, just the 2 carrots. So. And then these are onions from the store. We ran out of our onions. We got to plant even more this year. Or hopefully, if we can. But we planted almost 300 and we still ran out. So we must eat a lot of onions. How many onions do you all go through? So you just kind of cut it up however you like, whatever size you like. I like bigger chunks in saucy chicken. So I'm just going to have these ready, sitting here waiting to dump in there. Onion doesn't take nearly as long. And I honestly really don't like soggy vegetables. So you kind of tailor that to what you like. Our little kids seem to like crunchy vegetables the best. So we tend to go with that. Okay, so those are just sitting there waiting. Okay. We'll go over some of the things that I like to put in here. Okay. So first and foremost, instead of soy, I use coconut aminos. So I don't have to worry about the gluten or the soy. I don't like either one of them really. I can't have gluten, but I don't like soy either, and I don't want anyone in the family to have it. We get this from Azure Standard. We love this. We use this for all our stir fries, marinades, things like that. This is a great alternative. So I'm going to go ahead and add my coconut aminos. And guys, I'm sorry, I don't measure. It's just how I cook. And I'm going to guess a 1/4 cup plus. We'll say that. 1/4 cup plus. I make different amounts depending on who's eating. I just kind of fill up the bottom of the pan. So I am going to turn it up to medium now that I've got that in there. And let that cook really good. And we'll go over some of the other things I put in there while I'm waiting on that. I use a gluten-free teriyaki. I think we get this at Meijer. It's kind of hard to find sometimes. Sometimes Walmart or Kroger, they carry it too. I use a couple tablespoons of that for flavor. A little bit of Worcestershire. And gotta have some Sriracha. I'm just gonna guess, depends on how hot, but you adjust that. I put about a little less than a tablespoon in there. They don't like it too hot. Minced garlic. I even put more garlic powder, more salt. And then I like the fire roasted diced tomatoes, just to have some chunky tomatoes in there. I don't have any canned up right now. And then I have my home canned tomato sauce. So I'll probably use both of these. If 1 quart doesn't look like it's going to be nearly enough, then I'll save this one and grab me another quart. And that's it, you guys. I do add onion powder. And I already salted and peppered my meat. It's super simple.
How much was that?
I don't know. That's probably a 1/2 teaspoon of salt. And then maybe a 1/4 teaspoon of black pepper. Okay, the peppers are looking good and thawed, so they're going to start browning up. And I got it on medium. So I'm going to dump my onions on top. I'm going to leave them on top for a minute because I don't want them to start browning up on the bottom of the pan yet. While all that's going, I'm going to clean up some stuff. Okay guys, I did add a couple tablespoons of butter to the fried rice, fried Cauli-rice. It gives it a little bit, just a little bit of a flavor. And I forgot to mention on the Worcestershire sauce, I do make sure that the kind I get does not have any kind of wheat or gluten. It's a grain-free, gluten-free Worcestershire. So just be careful if you're wanting a grain-free, gluten-free recipe. Watch all your sauces. Just check your ingredients really good. Okay, so this has been cooking for a little bit. The peppers are starting to soften. I'm gonna add a couple heaping spoonfuls of minced garlic. You can make it as garlicky as you like. We like it garlicky. There's so much sauce in the end that it's not a ton of garlic. So we're gonna mix all this together real quick. So I've got onions, carrots, bell peppers, garlic, and then we're gonna add the broccoli at the end. And and this is a seasonal dish, like I said, so we do like yellow squash a whole lot and zucchini in this as well. If you had green onions, that would be really good. Any kind of good stuff from your garden. You could even do probably cabbage in this, and it would be good.
Could you do green beans?
Oh yes, we have also done fresh green beans, and we put them in here and saute them, and they're like that crunchy, like Chinese green bean. They're really good in here too. You can kind of make this and tailor it to whatever your family likes. Okay, so at this point, when I get my garlic and my onions in here, the peppers are soft and the carrots have cooked for just a little bit, I'm gonna go ahead and add my meat back into this. And we just use chicken breast. You can use, I've done this with pork, and I like it probably better with pork. I just don't have any right now. You can use white meat. You could use dark meat. Whatever you have and whatever you like. This is it's called a pry lid. It opens up the lids, but these are an acid. They're a tomato, so I probably won't keep these lids, but it keeps from damaging your lid. And in case of an emergency, I clean these when I'm done, and they're reusable. But it's got a soda pop, like a Coke lid opener. It opens these any size lid. I love this thing. I think we got it on eBay, didn't we?
Yeah. That's
where we found it. It is vintage. It's legit old, but I really wanted one, so we splurged on it. You can kind of see it's browning up in here real nice. Just the juices from the vegetables. Haven't even really added anything except for that coconut aminos. Already looking good. Looks kind of like a stir fry. I've done snow peas in this, and that was good. Sugar snap peas were good. Okay, now I'm gonna sauce it up. You guys, I'm sorry I don't measure. I think a lot of people are like that. I know about how much I need.
How much would you say that was?
I don't know, there might be a teaspoon, a little more. I do put a couple tablespoons of the teriyaki. Probably a tablespoon plus of Worcestershire.
Worcestershire?
However you say it. And it's already smelling amazing. So I'm going to add some garlic powder. If I had to guess, a teaspoon of garlic powder. And onion powder. Onion powder helps to sweeten it up. Half a teaspoon. That's what I would guess on that. Maybe a teaspoon.
Yeah, that smells really good.
And we put these meals on here because you guys are like us, and I think everybody is. We get tired of the same old food all the time. And I need inspiration and ideas. I don't like eating tacos every week and spaghetti I don't like the same old stuff. Things like this, especially if you're gluten-free, or maybe you just need a different food in your rotation. It gives you ideas. It keeps you from getting bored.
This is a low-carb keto thing?
Yes, it's low carb. Okay, that was our diced tomatoes. These are fire roasted. I just like the flavor of them, but you don't have to do fire roasted. This is my tomato sauce. Can y'all see how thick that is, guys? It's beautiful tomato sauce. This one wasn't as thick, but it's actually good for this recipe. I'm going to start mixing it all together. So we don't have our broccoli in yet, but I want to get all the flavors melded together before I do that. Okay, last thing we're going to do is add our frozen broccoli. Fresh broccoli works great. We've done that before also. Everything's been cooking for just a few minutes. Things all mixed and blended and ready to go. So we're gonna dump this in. Sometimes if they're too big, I will go back and take a knife. I don't like big pieces, big chunks of broccoli. I like everything to be bite-sized. That's completely up to you. And sometimes, you know, I'll get a bag of this and everything is bite-sized. So we're just gonna mix this in, let it kind of cook in the mix, and it doesn't even take 5 minutes once you put the broccoli in, just enough to get the broccoli a little al dente, and that broccoli will kind of soak up the sauce, kind of like in a Chinese dish, and all those flavors are all in that broccoli. Okay, so I chopped some of this broccoli up. I'm just gonna mix it in, and we're really just cooking it enough to get it good and hot, but stay a little bit, have a little crunch to it. You don't have to do that. I have also made this meal before, the saucy part, and I froze it. So obviously the broccoli won't be as crunchy, but it's still good. You could double your batch here, or maybe you're just, you know, 1 or 2 people and this is a double batch, and let it cool and freeze it in a gallon bag. And then all you'd have to add it to is some Cauli-rice later. Alrighty guys, so we're ready here. I'm gonna dish out some. Get the stove turned off. So it's been maybe not even 5 minutes since I added all the broccoli. So it's good and chunky, good and hearty, but it's also saucy. So you want to get some of that sauce if that's what you like. Pour it all around. I like the sauce. And there you go. Okay guys, that's our grain-free dinner for tonight. It took me about 45 minutes to get it all together. It wasn't too bad. If this is helpful, give us a like or even subscribe to our channel if you hadn't. We have all kinds of stuff on our channel. We do gluten-free, grain-free, even keto, low-carb recipes here and there. We do a whole lot of homesteading stuff, and that's a whole nother story that we're gonna do soon. You know, homesteading and our diets kind of go hand in hand. So guys, if this is helpful, let us know.